I don't think it's an incredible risk to drop out of college. That's my first hot take, and I know that that's so like taboo to think about in today's society. It's always associated, oh, entrepreneurship is such a big risk. What if it doesn't work out? What if you're not part of the 1% that makes it? But first of all, what if you are?
Hello, namaste. Welcome to the Zarna Garg family podcast where all 5 Gargs are in the house. And today's episode is gonna get you heated. It's gonna get you angry and you're gonna have opinions. And we can't wait to get right into it. Let's jump right into it. Let me introduce my family. My husband of 26 years, Wall Street veteran, Shalab Garg. My daughter who just finished college, Zoya Garg. My son who's in college, Bridge Garg, and my middle schooler, Veer Garg. We are going to talk about love and dating advice when you get mixed messaging from people, from your boyfriend, from your girlfriend, from your spouse, from somebody you're interested in but you haven't really made contact with yet. How do you know when that person is just not into you? How do you know when that person is head over heels? We are going to get into it in a way that no other family ever has. So who has an opinion? Go first.
I think when I think about flirting, I think about texting. I think it's really interesting because when you and Dad met, it was a different kind of communication, right? Weren't you guys putting coins to like pay for phone calls?
No, what?
You know what? No, it
Isn't
was
that
a
how it
rotary
was?
phone. It's not that old,
Yeah.
Zoya.
But what does that even mean? What is a rotary phone?
Like
You
you
have
have
to
to
spin
dial.
dial.
click, you have to
It goes
dial,
around,
or you have to click on the. I mean, you make it sound like it's from 50 years ago. I mean, actually, it is 30 years ago. You're right. It is 30 years ago.
So I feel like what's interesting is that the digital form of dating and communication has completely changed since you guys met.
It's not that different. We used to text
No,
also.
it's very different.
Not text, email. What?
Email.
Text
We
on
did-
what?
Yeah, there was no texting. Yeah, there was no texting back then.
Was it the case that women would wait for the men to email first?
Yes, always. Always.
I mean,
In
that
fact, there
hasn't
was a
changed even
very-
today, has it?
Yeah, has it changed today?
I don't think it's that important who texts first nowadays.
You really, if a girl texted you, you would be, and you were into it, you would pursue it?
Why would I not pursue it if I'm into it?
But has that occurred? Has a girl texted you first? And Zoya,
this
Zoya,
is
have
like
you?
our opinions on the topic, not our personal experience.
No, but you can feel free to share.
I think that I'll keep it there. I don't think it's that important who texts first.
But if you're, okay, but hold on. If you're interested in a girl, then why wouldn't you have texted first to begin with?
I may have. I'm just saying it doesn't matter, because what if you're slightly interested in a girl and she texts you or you didn't think to text her? You're just going to be like, oh, she texted me first. No, I'm not doing that. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but that's exactly the problem. That if you were kind of into her, why didn't you reach out to begin with? Like, at your age, isn't this supposed to
Maybe
be
he
all
was
that you
intimidated, right? But men can be intimidated.
No.
You know what we should talk about? There's something huge that's going on that just like became very popular. I don't know when it was created, but it's very popular now. And I have strong stances against it. It's this new app called the T app. Have you guys heard of the T app?
What's the T
It's
app?
all over TikTok. I'm into it. I'm pro.
I'm very anti it. Like, very
Can you
anti.
tell us
It's
what
a-
it is? I have no idea
Okay,
what this is.
so it's a new app. It's definitely like taking over colleges, and where only women can get the app. Like you have to prove your like birth certificate or something to prove that you're actually a female, and there's no other way for like no man can get on the app. And they're able to post anonymously about any guy in the world. So if you ever have an experience with a guy, you can post about him all of his red or green flags, and like whatever you thought about him, as you can post about him after your relationship, during your relationship, before your relationship, whatever it is. You can be best friends with somebody who knows a guy and post about that guy. It does not
No,
matter.
that
Oh my
is not cool.
God, that
It
is
does not
cool.
matter.
It's insane. And women are
insanity.
posting, people are posting their TikToks of them revealing what information they've learned
How could you
about.
possibly be pro this? What?
Okay, listen, I think that gatekeeping information about men is never a good idea. Right? Like, there is already this kind of process happening in background already. When a girl starts seeing somebody, they obviously next step go to what friends do I have mutual with them, and what do they think of him, or what information do I not know about him? And there's so much danger for women these days that I think it's better to be safe than sorry.
That's just
But Didi,
ridiculous.
do you
That
know?
is
Do
so
you know the
ridiculous.
issue? Do you know the issue with what you said is that when you go to your friends, you're going to a credible source. You're going to people that you know and that you can vouch that they're going to give you at least very close to the honest truth. But when you go online to completely random strangers, a person can hate a man or a man can hate a girl simply because they weren't exciting enough, or simply because they had one bad experience of like, oh, he was pretty rude to me during this fight, and it's just not indicative of who the person is at all. So when you allow random people you've never talked about, to give you opinions on a guy, or like click the red flag button so you can see how many red flags a guy has, then you're completely like you're choosing to believe people that you have no idea what the context of the
Can you
situation
do
is.
this for any age? Like, can I go and like red flag all the people I ever dated?
Yes, you can.
I
You
can.
can go
Oh,
to any
I'm
guy.
gonna go. Any guy who ever turned me down, any guy who ever was rude to me, his mother.
Mom,
I'm gonna
can
go
you?
now and tag
Why,
them
why
all.
don't you red flag me? Go ahead and
I
red flag
might,
me.
I might do it. Let people know what I live with.
What were
before.
Dad's red flags when you started seeing him?
Dad's red flags? His mother.
I didn't have too many at the time.
Yeah. The red flags grew with time. That's another topic. What happens if the red flags grow?
Zoya, have you
Green
done this?
flag
Have you
strikes.
gone on that website and
No, first of all, I got rejected, actually. I applied for
You
the
got
app and I
rejected?
got rejected. I don't know why I got rejected. I've applied twice and they just will not let me in this forum. They probably think I don't have enough dating experience. I'm like, okay. So I have been rejected.
so it's not just that you're a woman, you have to have other things as well
No,
to be
I don't.
accepted.
no.
No,
It's just that you're a
it's
woman.
pretty much that you're just a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've just been rejected so many times, but I definitely think back channeling whoever you are potentially seeing is really important, because you really what is on the surface, especially because a lot of people meet now and then they go straight to your Instagram profile or they go straight to your internet presence, and that can be so misleading, right? Like, you don't know a lot about that person.
The intent of the app is good. The idea that like you can get honest, real things about men that may be more like make women feel uncomfortable or might sexually assault or have raped a girl before. The intent of exposing those types of men are that's a great idea, right? Women should know who's safe and not safe to be around. But the idea of making it that like you just don't think somebody matches your vibe, or there's red flags, maybe a guy's a cat person instead of a dog person, like all of these random things get added to the app and then they get misconstrued too. Like it's just so it's become like a gossip app and not like an actual factually checked app, and that's the issue with
Also,
it for me.
Bridge, men change over time, right? Like it's like men don't
Exactly.
like get completely
And
created.
so do every humans change over time. Like
No,
somebody
women don't change. Your mother is the same today as she was at 21.
you don't think
What were Mom's red flags?
She was very demanding. You know, she called herself submissive, and she was anything but. She called herself submissive.
That is.
There's no way. That's like
There's-
completely.
She,
the
ask
opposite
her.
of
Did you or did you not call yourself
I
submissive?
did not understand the meaning of the word clearly back then.
Oh, the best writer of the world, a law-educated best writer of the world, did not understand the meaning of an English word. That's what we are supposed to believe.
I mean, I'm telling you that at the time when I was asked that question, I was a little confused about the question, and that's what happened. Yes,
Her
it is
family
true
was a
that-
big red flag. It's like they were like so like this, that, and the other, and inquisitive and really, really invasive as human beings.
Veer, so one thing I think is really interesting is that you are growing up in the TikTok age, right? Like when I was growing up, it felt like everybody would flirt for the first time on Snapchat because Snapchat felt unserious. It was disappearing messages. It didn't feel like my parents could access my messages. Now I see so many of you and your friends, like you guys are always posting these TikToks and it feels like you guys are baiting each other. Like there's like subliminal messaging happening in these TikToks. Like what's happening in the TikTok flirting scene?
Okay, I don't know what you mean by the subliminal messaging, but for context for people watching, I just post like corny TikToks with my friends just for fun. What I think is interesting is that the girls are very like they're super strict about their TikToks. Like TikToks have to be made when they're fully like in makeup, in dressing, whatever, going to a bar mitzvah. I think it's really interesting. It's like they won't even post a story because it's their TikTok. They take their TikTok so seriously, which is one thing that I think is just completely being overdone. But I'm not really sure what you're asking.
So do you think that girls will will post a TikTok hoping that like a boy will see it, basically, is my question.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay.
But the same way a guy would post a TikTok hoping that girls would see it.
So that is a thing, flirting
Yeah.
on TikTok.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a thing since we were kids, though. People posting stuff on Instagram or just generally talking to somebody's friends, hoping that friend tells the person about them. I think that's just like a major thing that people do. There's a lot of dating gimmicks, is what I would say.
Okay, Brit, let me just ask you a very simple question. If you are interested in a girl, how do you approach her?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
I think in today, like, it would be very different if you asked me a long time ago, but because it's today, I think you have to be so overly careful with how you approach a girl. Like, I would not approach a girl unless I was very certain that the environment was very safe. So it would have to be like, it couldn't be at a party. I would never in today's society approach a girl at a party just because I'd be too scared that she could be drunk or there could be like alcohol involved or other supplements. And actually, this is like a PSA to all men and women. You should be so careful today with the amount of stuff that like you can do with the new T app and everything. You can get exposed for something that you never even thought you did wrong, like literally anywhere, anyhow, under any means. So for that reason, I'm very conservative with how I approach a girl now. It'll definitely be through like, I'll talk to her in person and just say something like, would you like to get coffee, or no, would you like to go on a date or something? Would you like to go on a walk? Would you like to go for a run? I'm a big run person, so I like to say like, would you like to go on a run with me? But at the same time, like, again, it would just have to be so safe, and I'm very careful now.
How do you get to know somebody on a run?
I think it's important because you talk while you're on a run. Like, whenever I'm on a run with somebody I'm interested in, I talk. I'm always very communicative. I'm not somebody who likes to listen to music while on runs. And you get to really learn about somebody because you run slower when you're talking. So you run slower. It's kind of like a walk, but like you're doing an activity to make up for the silentness in the date.
And so, how do you like to be asked? What would be the best way for someone to ask you?
I like when it's friendship first. Like, I prefer when it's not like a direct date off the bat. Every like situation that I've been in that has been more so like we started from like a coffee where we were talking about something different, and then oh my gosh, like there's vibes, like, like I don't like starting off with like this is a date and like we're gonna get dinner, like I prefer it to feel like, yeah, I like going on walks too. Like being asked to go on a walk is really fun. I think it's important to like talk and hear the other person's point of view. I have questions that I ask. I mean, I've famously said that I don't like to date guys who don't have sisters, which I still stand by, but I mean, I don't know. If you're Bridge, do you have any questions that you like are go-to questions, or you just kind of play it by ear?
Or what is, Bridge, your red, like what is it that a girl can do on a first date and you will never call her back?
Do you pay for the date also? That's a good question.
Oh,
too.
Yeah.
Who pays for
I think men should absolutely pay for the first date. I don't know why. I think that's rooted in like just traditional norms, but I just feels weird to me to be like not paying for a first date, at least for me. Then when it comes to the first date stuff, there's a couple of things that has to happen every first date, which is one, know her priorities. That's the most important thing. I want a girl that's very, very ambitious, and if she's not very ambitious, I immediately know it's not going to work out. Like if there's a girl, and this isn't to shame any girls that aren't that
But
way.
what
it's
if
just, like,
what
my
if she
personal
says that she
preference.
wants to support you in your career and be a
What
stay-at-home mom?
woman is gonna say that?
That's not enough. At this age, no one would say that. Older, I feel like they would. Like, I feel like girls when they, I don't know. I might be wrong about that. Mom, what do you think? Like, the older women get, the more they're willing to do that?
Yeah, I think the day has passed where women today are gonna be like, I'll support you. Like no one wants to do it, and no guy wants it. Like it's not an interesting.
That's not
conversation.
true. That's not true.
That's definitely not true.
Every
yeah.
guy I know would want that. Like, every single guy. I can't think of one guy that wouldn't
So
want
then,
that.
why
Like,
don't
other-
you want it? Why don't you want it?
Because I want somebody, I treat relationships very much like a co-founder relationship, and I want somebody who's willing to attack the world the same way I want to attack the world.
But then who's
and I'm
gonna
not
raise
interested.
the family? Like let's get practical. Like then somebody.
Yeah,
is,
so,
are
okay.
you not gonna have kids? Are you not? Because as long as you don't have kids, you can do that. Two co-founders basically living together.
Yeah, okay. I understand that perspective, but let me offer you something. If two people are working with dual income, first of all, that means the amount of money you're making is arbitrarily higher. You're both going to be making more money, and with that comes different luxuries, right? When you have a larger safety net of things you can and can't do, it allows you to open up times in ways that you wouldn't be able to have if you didn't have that money. For example, you might be able to go on like a spring break together as a family. I remember times when like maybe one parent can take like some days off that the other one can't or whatever it may be. after work, maybe both parents are able to have like all the time in the world with their children, or really value that time that they have there with their children. You're obviously able to afford more support, nannies, people to take care of the children when they're babies. There's so many different ways that I think increase the value of the time that you have with your children that makes up for the overall idea of having like one parent raise the child. And I think that one major thing that has to be changed from history, which is the real reason why I support this, is that it used to be that it's just the mom taking care of the child, right? It's just the mom, 100% of her time goes to the child, and like very close to 0% of the man's time goes to the child. But when you look at people that we know in our lives, for example, I'm not going to say their names, but our neighbors who live in our building, you can have people who are both working dual incomes, but then give it like 50% of their time, or give it whenever they have a time to do it individually, so that they're both raising the child equally.
I mean, I get it, and I guess I haven't lived that life, so it's hard to imagine. But there is a lot more flexibility today, Shalab. Think about like back when we were working, there was no work from home, there was no remote
Yeah.
days, there was no. You had to put on a suit. I worked in a law firm, right? Every morning, if I had to work, I'd put on a suit 7 a.m. and be on the desk before the partner got in, and then leave after the partner left. Like, how are you going to raise any family in those circumstances? Both people are doing it. I am very hopeful that technology has also brought in a lot of new options for women and for couples. And I think that what Bridge is describing is the future for a lot of couples. But what's interesting to me is that you think a lot of men want that devoted wife still.
They absolutely do.
Absolutely do.
I feel like there's this entire resurgence almost in the last few years of like men also being very explicit that they think that they should have wives that support them, that take care of the kids, that build a household. And to be honest, if you look at the birth rates of, American families, they are declining. Like, there is reason to be concerned about what's happening in terms of like dating, marriage, and family life in America. So
I mean, you don't remember, Zarna, we met this doctor guy who was 45 or whatever, and we were having dinner, and he specifically said he will not date anyone over 29 because he wants her to stay home and raise kids.
Yeah.
And he's not like a billionaire, he's just a doctor.
Yeah. No,
Hold on, I have a question for you guys, for mom and dad. For a girl that me or Baya brought home and a guy that Didi brought home, what are the best and worst things you can detect from them?
Ooh.
Want from them or detect from them?
Like, what are things that you can, when you meet them, you look for as green flags and hope that you don't see as red flags, or things that you've seen that like instantly make them a no?
Okay, you go first, Zarna. This is like a very loaded question.
My first thing is the instinct. What is my instinct saying around this person? Do I feel good around this person, or am I like, there's like my gut is just like no, because you have to trust your instincts. Some of this is just that. Then it's, what is this person's verifiable qualifications? Like, did they go to college? Did they go to any?
Oh my God, why would you say that when you always say every day that college is overrated?
That was so insane.
No. I don't mean like a fancy college, but what is verifiable about what this person is saying? Because the problem that we run into, and especially in the SF and Bay Area crowd, everybody's a dropout from something, everybody's a startup founder, everybody was an early investor in Uber. None of this stuff is verifiable. So you have to at least have a base ground of like, what are you looking at here?
You're saying, what is the evidence? Like, what are the
things you can verify? So, okay, you're not worried about this because this is a fact.
But that's for a man. What about for a woman?
Also for girls. Like, if some girl is like, I dropped out of high school and I'm a startup founder and I got funding, friends and family, angel investing, you can't verify any of this.
Let's put that aside for a second, because the high school dropout is much more rare. What about college dropout? What if a girl that I was interested in told you that she dropped out sophomore year of college because she wanted to pursue her startup?
Yeah, I am not a fan of it. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
And,
Wait,
and
why?
you guys went all, I'm not saying college is useless. I'm saying the prestige associated with the top 5 or 10 colleges is overrated. College is still an experience. I wanted you guys to go through. I think at your age, you should experience the social networking. And I don't mean networking like how you can benefit. Just learning how to socialize with people your age is a very important thing. So I am not a fan of the college dropout. I am not. I think 1 in 100 will actually be useful at it. Everybody else will end up coming back to college 2, 3, 4, 5 years delayed, and now what did you do? You wasted 5 years of your life. So I'm not personally a fan. So if you brought home a girl who's like, yeah, I'm doing a startup, a lot of it feels to me like they're affected by the stories of Mark Zuckerberg and the 2, 3 guys who made it. And they all think that they have that one idea. And let me break it to you, without knowing most of these people or any of these people, 99.9% of them don't have that idea or the wherewithal to follow through with the execution that is required at that level. So
But you
I'm not,
wouldn't immediately discount somebody
I
who.
would.
So if Bridge brought home, so there are things that if Bridge brought home a
Yeah.
person of a certain quality, this one included, they're immediately axed.
Yeah, if they're like, I dropped out in freshman year, I would be like, this is not an ideal candidate for our family unit. We also like doing academic things. We
No,
like
I
doing
understand.
extracurricular things.
I understand
What
that.
academic things do we like doing?
That's
No, we're
part of
very
the thing.
academic,
We
Bridge.
literally
We're
have
very
grades.
Who is?
academic.
I'm not.
We
I
give
am
out
very
grades.
not academic at all.
That is
Bridge,
not,
you
you
guys
are
may be
so much
academic.
more. Bridge,
I
you
am
read
so
all the
not
time.
academic.
You're so obsessed with politics. These are very academic qualities to you.
That's.
yes.
I wouldn't say that's an academic. Most startup founders in the world are very obsessed with politics. That's not like a
No, no,
like
no.
a very rare
No,
thing.
no.
I would not
There's
say.
an intellectual component of things for fun, we do a podcast that we are very serious about. For fun, we met in Orlando Disney for
But why is it
20
attributed?
hours.
Okay, so
and
if,
we
if
worked.
that's your idea of what an academic person is, why do you attribute that to people who graduate college and not those who drop out halfway through college? Because I,
Because-
like, for example, I personally, if my semester next semester goes as well as I want it to go, I am 100% confident and comfortable dropping out of college as a junior and not pursuing and completing my degree as a
I will
college
not
graduate.
allow that to happen.
It's
Yeah,
not-
I will
It's-
not allow that to happen.
It's
I
not
will
something
throw
that
my
you
body
have.
outside your dorm room and I will not let you exit.
There's-
You are not gonna happen. I will not allow you.
Yeah,
to
Bridge,
make
just take that
mistake.
out of your head because it's not
Yeah.
happening.
Wait,
Guys,
If
I
it's
don't.
going so well, just keep it going well for 2 more years. What is the problem?
I just don't think you guys understand that the entire schooling system is based off the traditional idea that you graduate and you go into the corporate world. That is the entire thesis
Can
of
I-
it.
can I
Without
weigh
question,
in?
you're right about that. And
Wait,
I will
yeah.
counter that with the idea that
Yeah.
we do live in this real world.
Yes,
So,
we do.
Right? So you want to wage a war against every system that doesn't make sense.
It's not waging a war. It's choosing a different system. Wait 1 second. Let me finish. If going through the college life leads to you getting a job and you're so confident, not speaking to you, but to everyone who thinks this, you're so confident that because you went through college, you got that degree, you will get a job. Why can't you be just as confident that you didn't go through college, but you took all the lessons you needed to have a startup and make the same amount of money or more money chasing that?
It's not about the money. I'm telling you, college life, those 4 years are about the socialization. It's about the experience. It's about the exposure to different people. Do you feel you got enriched in
Yes,
your first year of college?
I think the most important part of college is socialization. And what I'm telling you now is that there's an entire new community of people let's just take San Francisco, because that's obviously the hub of entrepreneurship. There's no debate about that. There is a whole hub of college entrepreneurs, dropouts, people who graduated and focus on a startup, people who didn't make it to college and focusing on a startup. Forget Y Combinator. There's billions of hacker houses. Didi herself started a hacker house. All of that socialization does exist within the context of places like that.
Can I add something to this? Okay, so I really wanted to drop out after my sophomore year of Stanford because I felt like the tuition money that we were paying was so high, was a price so high that I wanted to just get into the workforce. And I felt like the fact that I had gotten into a brand name school was enough for me. I didn't actually need the paper to like show for it. Now, I ended up staying and I'm so grateful that I did because my experience in college only started to really make sense to me midway through my junior year. And I met so many founders who had dropped out. I actually dated a founder who had dropped out. And I feel like ultimately one thread is just very consistent in that the mental clarity you get by checking off boxes is something that a lot of people underestimate until they've checked off the box. So like a lot of people who dropped out of college, they always have this like hanging pressure over their head of I put this risk on the table. And so if this doesn't work out, like I will have to like make up for this incredible bet that I've taken. And it's not a worthwhile bet. There are some bets that are worthwhile. For example, like I think it is smart to take crazy risk in your 20s and to do hard things and to make a fool of yourself and do all the things, right? Like that decade is usually when you don't have kids. It's usually when you don't have the largest responsibilities. Like I believe in that. But I think people and Bridge, I would have underestimated how much power there is in knowing like I have this diploma and I didn't get great grades in college. There's a way that a lot of my most successful startup friends graduated a full year early so that they could get into it as soon as possible. I know mom did that, for example. She finished her undergrad in like 2 years, which who knows how on earth she did that, but she did do that, right? Or I have other friends who took a year off and came back and like completed their degree. Or I have other friends who switched their degree to something completely stupid. Like I have some computer science friends who are so good at coding, but instead of studying computer science, studied philosophy just so they could get their credits really quickly and get their degree, but then do what really mattered to them most of their time. So there's ways I think of being creative and staying in school that I think are really important.
Wait, I have something
Okay.
to say too. I have something to say.
Yeah.
What I will say is something I've learned from this test I'm taking in about a month is that one reason that school and tutors and all these things that like a tutor could easily be replaced by AI, but what I will say is that one of the reason I think college is valuable is that college holds you accountable for that the fact that you need to be doing work. If you're not doing the work, you will not pass college, and it just makes the hoops that you need to jump through a little bit easier by setting it up and having you have a schedule and a system for everything to be done.
Yes,
That's a
and
great point, even though he's not in college.
I know.
that is a great point, and you're absolutely right about all of that. But I have so many things I want to say when it comes to this. First of all, let me say something. I love college. I am having an absolutely fantastic college experience. I've loved it since the day I've gotten here. I still love it today, even though there's times where my life is so busy and like everything is falling apart. I still love it because of how fun it is. But with that being said, one, I don't think it's an incredible risk to drop out of college. That's my first hot take, and I know that that's so like taboo to think about in today's society. It's always associated, oh, entrepreneurship is such a big risk. What if it doesn't work out? What if you're not part of the 1% that makes it? But what, first of all, what if you are? What if you are part of that 1% that makes
But
it?
Bridge,
And
why
two,
can't it start at the end of year 4? I don't understand.
because why wait to, if I told you, Dad, you have an opportunity to chase your dreams right now, but then why would you not chase it? Why would you why would I say, Dad, wait 2 years to chase your dreams? Wait, so that instead of going after your passion, put it on hold. Why don't you wait a couple years even though you're so passionate about it and you're ready to go after it? If you have the means to be able to chase your dreams, why not go after it? I don't get it.
One story that really like I felt this exact way at this exact age, and one story that Dad's brother, who is an extremely like well-regarded entrepreneur in his own right, like truly like did the thing and has done incredibly for himself. Like I called him because I felt so similarly, and he told me this story about how like the Google founders who were in school, like they were so reluctant to dropping out and they just did not want to because they had job offers on the table. The best founders actually are the people that de-risk so much and are so paranoid about everything, and they just literally wait and wait and wait until it's so obvious, like it's so completely obvious that it makes sense to be doing whatever that thing is instead of whatever thing they were doing before, almost to the point of delusion. Right? So like actually the narrative is incorrect, and that most people who do drop out of school, they really didn't want to, and they waited to a point where most people would not wait. And
Okay, so
yeah.
that makes sense.
Also, Bridge,
And
your
wait,
mother,
wait,
your mother
wait.
should be an inspiration in that regard, right? She started her entrepreneurial journey in mid-40s, so there is no time attached to an entrepreneurial journey.
There isn't. I couldn't
No,
agree with
also,
you more.
Can I just pause you for one
Okay,
second and
yes.
you can continue?
Yes.
What you said that this is a hot take and the safety, I actually challenge that. The hot take today is a parent who says stay in college. There seems to be an inordinate pressure on college kids to be cool and drop out. Because if you don't drop out, you're dumb. You're falling in line with the system. That I saw it the entire 4 years at Stanford. Every
That is
classmate-
Stanford University,
no,
Mom.
but it's also so Bridge. All my friends' kids, half of them dropped out because if you're cool, You drop out and you chase your startup dream because you're that cool. Like, in fact, it's a hot take today to say I'm boring and I'm gonna finish out my degree and take it the way it comes, and I'm okay with taking time. Somehow your generation has it that if you're not rushing to the $1 billion line, you've fallen behind. And
Yeah.
every kid in your generation is waking up thinking, I'm not an AI billionaire yet. What happened? I am not, I'm a failure in life. Just take a breath. Take a breath. That's all we're saying.
Also, can we come
Honestly,
back
and
to the
I'm
topic?
going to add one more thing as a parent and as a family podcast. It's actually extremely disrespectful for kids today. And I don't mean you guys and I don't mean Bridge, because I know he doesn't think this way. It's actually disrespectful for kids today to say to their parents, many of whom are paying for these degrees, to say these 2 years were useless. So this $160,000 was worth nothing, which in your case is not even that, Bridge, because you have a lot of scholarship money and all that. But it's disrespectful to say I did 2 years, I did enough socializing, I don't need to finish this. If you were a YC funded company, or if you were a company that was, if your college experience was funded by an outside investor, not your parents, no outside investor would allow you to do it. They would be like, what the actual nonsense are you talking about? We invested in this degree, we didn't invest in you having party socializing for 2 years. So just keep that in mind. I think, and it's not true for you in your case, you have so much scholarship money that it's irrelevant. But I think today's hot take is the young kid who goes to college and says, I'm actually enjoying college and I'm
Bridge
going
is
Mom,
hard.
literally
it
a
is,
pain.
I mean, that, okay. There's many things I want to respond, but because Dad said we should get back to the topic, and we should, I'm gonna keep it very concise. I'll take 2 points. Point one, it is, I'm struggling to figure out how to say that, like, that is just so untrue, because students do not want to drop out. And if you go to any engineering school, let's say Cornell, for example, their graduation rate is above 90%. It's not like kids are dropping out or want to. All of my business friends at Cornell don't want to drop out, and I'm only going to say this because I think it's worthwhile saying. Your bubble mom is full of ambitious, successful people that want that top ladder thing. So everyone around you and Stanford University, the #1 entrepreneurial college in the world, want to drop out. Sure, but when you go outside of that bubble, nobody wants to drop out. Many of the people are looking for engineering jobs. The reason why the market is so saturated is because everyone wants a job in the market. The IB world, everyone right now is recruiting. I would say out of everybody I know, there's only like 2 or 3 people that I know would want to drop out. And I'm in the most entrepreneurial like space at Cornell. Out of every single possible thing, I am in that space, right? And then point two, and this is the last thing I'll say on this, so we can get back to the topic. You guys are narrowing down what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur so much when I challenge that there is no set path or set way or set different things that point to you being a successful entrepreneur. There is nothing. There's no age. There's no point of chasing your dream. You can chase your dream at 14. You can chase your dream at 80. It does not matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're waiting for the perfect moment to drop out of college, or you drop out of college before it's the perfect moment, or you drop out too early. It does not matter, because at the end of the day, if you're chasing your dream as passionately as you know you can, you have an opportunity to be a successful entrepreneur. And that is my final thing I'll say on this topic. And now we can get back to dating. And actually, on the topic of this, I would love a girl that shares those similar thoughts. Because how am I supposed to relate to somebody or have meaningful conversation with somebody if they don't even understand like my perspective at all when it comes to that? So my question to you guys now is, how much does somebody agreeing with you on your familial political values matter to you? Is that something that matters to you? Or how
Yeah.
much should it matter?
That's a good question.
We're going to take a minute to tell you about our sponsor for today's episode, Wild Alaskan Company. Many of you know that I'm vegetarian. I don't really eat seafood, but I've been trying to eat a little bit of seafood now because I really need the protein. I need something that is clean, that is low in fat, that has no GMOs, that just feels healthy, like it was caught in nature and frozen and delivered to us. Wild Alaskan Company does exactly that. It is, you know why I love it? Because it comes in single serving sizes. So we don't have to buy all these big things. My favorite, Pacific halibut, I don't even know much about it, except I looked up 1 or 2 simple recipes and I make it, and now my kids are addicted to it, my husband's addicted to it, and I eat little bits of it just to add protein to my diet. I cannot recommend Wild Alaskan Company more highly. Not all fish are the same. Do not just go to your nearest grocery store and buy something without knowing that it is actually wild caught and not farmed. Get seafood that you can trust from Wild Alaskan Company. And today, if you go to wildalaskan.com/Zarna, you'll get $35 off your first box of premium wild caught seafood. That's wildalaskan.com/Zarna, Zarna, for $35 off your first order. What are you waiting for? Thanks to the Wild Alaskan Company for sponsoring this episode, and I can't wait for you guys to check it out and tell me what you think. We're also going to talk about our sponsor for today's episode, ZocDoc. Do not put off your medical appointments. You need to get those teeth cleaned. You need to get that pap smear. You need to get your colonoscopy. And there are no more excuses. You know why? Because there's ZocDoc. ZocDoc has all the information you need in one place. Which doctor? What are the reviews? What is the location? What are the hours? How can you make the appointments? What is the insurance split? All of it is in one place. So what's your excuse? Stop using the internet as some kind of easy doctor referral service when you don't know what they're referring. Stop using the internet as if you're a doctor and you know what you're even searching up. It is time to not put your health second. Your health comes first. ZocDoc has made it so easy. Stop putting off those doctor appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Zarna to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That is ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/Zarna. ZocDoc.com/Zarna. I want to see you healthy. I want to see us laughing together, and I want to see you live a stress-free life. I can only drop your blood pressure so much. The rest of it is on ZocDoc.com/Zarna.
I want to quote somebody who has a lot of controversy. Whoever you are looking to see, you should go on a road trip, a 12-hour, completely uncomfortable, not a first-class private jet to Aruba. You should find very uncomfortable situations to be in with your partner in order to find out how that person is when it comes to tough situations.
Wow.
My mother and I have been in tough situations for 26 years.
Oh my God, and we almost kill ourselves each time.
I think that is why you guys are still together, though.
Why?
Because you guys are in some sort of battle together. I don't know. Because other than that, it's so unclear to me how you guys have just been married. I mean, you guys have persevered longer than most couples that I know in New York City for sure. Right?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, it's not like that uncommon for people to stay together for this
No,
long.
but you guys have like stayed the course more so than anyone else. We know a lot of
Yeah, I mean, we do treat life like it's us against the world. And when I say us, I mean all 5 of us, not even just him and me. And it's, that is true that I at least treat it like it's a battle and a war against the world. Because I'm trying so hard to build a fortress around the 5 of us and be protective and, be defensive and plan ahead.
One thing that I want to talk about regarding flirting and dating is rejection. So I think what's really interesting is Bridge and Veer have been very good at like taking shots with their crushes in a way that I was not when I was their age. Like I was always very afraid. I was always the girl that would constantly make fun of the guy, and the guy would have no idea that I had feelings, and then it would be like, wait, what? Zoya liked me? I thought she hated me. Like that was fully my vibe.
I mean, that sounds like boy versus girl thing, Zoya.
No, but I mean, I think like Bridge and Veer, like you guys have been really consistently good at like just taking shots and like moving the needle. And how is it that you're so good at it? And like, how do you guys think about that in terms of like what happens if they don't like you back?
She says no, she says no, she says yes, great. So it's like, I don't really have an issue with asking a girl out because I'm just not really afraid, to be honest. I don't really have anything more to it. I just don't.
But why are you not afraid? Like, what if she says no, doesn't
Yeah,
bother you?
does a fear of rejection, it's like men wear it all their lives. How come you don't have it?
It's like, would you rather have a no, or would you rather keep wondering, does she like me? Which one would you rather have?
I that was what I was gonna say, is the idea that if you don't do it, you're always gonna be just thinking like, what if?
Like
But
when
if you
you're
do it, then
yeah,
there's no what if.
when you're older or not older, like in a year from now, I'm gonna be in a different school where I will probably not be in contact with anybody who I'm going to school with right now. Would I rather in a year be like, damn, what if I asked that girl out and she said yes? What could we be now? Versus, I'm glad I did that. She said no, but at least I know what the outcome was.
So it's like the fear of regret is much more powerful than the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never got to answer the question on what I would look for in a boy that Zoya brought home or a girl that Bridge or V
Yeah,
brought home.
okay, go for it, Dad.
Please
Go.
for it.
I'm just saying, I thought it was both people the answer.
The conversation was just whirlwinding. Go for it, Dad.
In the case, so I have different metrics though for the boy that you would bring home, and the girls. You can call me misogynist or whatever else you want to, but I do have different standards. For the boy that Zoya brought home, I would expect to see the time that he respects in Zoya, in that he respects her time and is not wasting her time. In other words, is serious about dating her as opposed to, do you know what I'm saying? That,
Yeah.
is respectful of your ambition, is respectful of your time, is respectful of your, and is passionate about, moving together seriously as opposed to not moving together seriously.
You mean because I have time constraints in the way that the boys don't?
Yes,
Yes, like
that's
just
what I meant.
clarifying, because like there's this issue of men dating women indefinitely without committing, and therefore are
Yes,
wasting
that's
that
how I
woman's
meant.
time.
Yes.
Yes.
And also
Okay.
that, of course, the basics have to be there, that he's educated and all that and ambitious. But beyond that, that he's respectful of your time. And in the case of the girls, I guess Veer is still young, but in the case of Bridge, the girl that he brought home, I hope would be, family oriented. Wants to start a family.
Wow.
Wants to
What,
have a
that's
family.
it? Family
Yeah.
oriented? That's
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Wants to
There's
have.
nothing
Well,
else.
Yeah, and the basics would be there. That I'm sure the reason Bridge has chosen to date her is because he wants to date her and is into her. But beyond that, that she's not just ambitious but also family oriented.
I actually had someone ask me recently, "Oh, I thought because you were ambitious, you wouldn't want a family."
Oh yeah, lot of people make that assumption about women today.
It was
What did you say?
wild. I mean, I said I obviously want a family. First of all, the world is waiting to see what Zarna Garg is going to be like as a grandmother. Like, look, tell me that I'm wrong. Honestly, tell me that I'm wrong. Like, the world needs to see that, obviously. And
I think the world more wants to see what she will be like a mother-in-law.
mother-in-law, exactly. So I think like all of those things obviously have to happen in
But
our
to
world.
Bridge's wife, not to your husband.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
No,
Straight.
that is true though. That is true though, because she's the wife, always making fun of the husband's mom.
Right.
So now we need to see who is she to my wife or Veer's wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
gonna be amazing. Nobody needs to wonder that much. I'm gonna A plus. I'll give myself a Google review right now on that. It's coming, guys. It's coming.
But yeah, this is definitely a thing. I didn't realize.
Are there any of all your guys' friends? Are there any people who are like first date must be split evenly the cost, or all guys are like no, we'll pay?
No, I'm very pro the guy. If it's a date, the guy should pay now. I just think it's like respectful. I didn't actually used to be like this, but then it got to a point where I noticed on some of my dates, I don't think the guys could afford the date. And I was like, what is going on? And I think about this. Oh, my watch is falling off. I think it's really interesting. Do you guys think it's important for women to make less money than the guy that they're seeing?
Ooh.
I care personally that the combined net worth is more than my parents' combined net worth. Because to me, I feel like I will only be successful if I've out succeeded my parents, right? Like that is one of the bars I have for myself.
I mean, that's a
But-
pretty big bar.
It is. I know you guys have done very well.
Are you
and
saying
I-
like as soon as you start dating a
No,
like
no,
now,
no.
or you're saying in the
no.
future?
In the future, like
Oh,
that is
okay,
the
okay.
goal. And then I don't know. I don't know. But if the combined is like this bar, I'm not sure if it needs to be proportionally equal. Like I don't know if it's fine if I am majority of the bar versus the guy combined with me. So I guess I'm opening that question to the pod.
Well, Didi, I want to ask, as ambitious as you are, would you care if the guy was making a lot more money than you?
No, I mean, I would find that like extremely attractive. I'd be like, yes, like love that this is a capitalist person who has their life together and is focused.
I mean, you would never date a starving artist, would you?
No. But I mean,
I'm just saying that let's be very honest here, right? Money is the only real barometer of success for human beings in the world that we live in. So you would probably never date a guy who is either not already rich or getting his way there, ambitious enough to get there. Is that or is that not correct?
that is the hope. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, but for Bridge, on the flip side, he would happily date a girl who is a 10 in terms of looks and athletics and the way she is in physical form, and will probably not care if she ever made money or did not make money. Is that correct or is that not correct, Bridge?
I would care that she's ambitious in whatever realm or field that she chooses to pursue. So she doesn't need to be like pursuing a life of entrepreneurship. She could be a doctor. She could be a engineer. It doesn't matter as long as she treats it with the same intensity.
What if her only contribution to the world was the fact that she is a knockout beauty?
And that would like she's not doing anything else.
Does not want to because she thinks that being beautiful is enough.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
You would not. So you would reject a really, really beautiful girl.
He has in the past.
Yeah.
When?
Wait, what?
You have rejected girls that were really attractive but weren't focused or weren't ambitious before.
Yeah, I have because it's just we just don't agree in like what we want.
By the way, I'm not saying she's dumb. I'm saying that she's really smart, but just does not care to work because she thinks she's beautiful and doesn't have to.
But again, it depends on what you define work as, because I would define work as like somebody who's very passionate about, let's say she was very passionate about going to the gym. Like going to the gym was her entire thing. Like I would be like, oh, that's totally fine. Like you're trying to go to the gym. You're trying to influence other people to go to the gym. That's fine. You can treat it with that same intensity that you should. But if she was literally just doing nothing, like literally just like, first of all, smart is synonymous with somebody who's very hardworking and wants something out of life, in my opinion. So let's assume for a second they're not smart, out of the table. Immediately, there's no question about that. I think most people can agree about that. But then in addition, I want them to actually want something. I need them to be passionate about something. I think that's how I'll clarify it. They need to be passionate about something.
No, and working. Like, shut up. There's no. I mean, no matter how beautiful some girl is, like, just to say, I'm beautiful enough, I don't want to work. That person, I don't know. If
I mean, why are you making it sound, Zarna, that doesn't happen? It happens all the time.
I disagree with you, Mom.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have extremely beautiful friends who also are extremely hardworking and ambitious and want to do things with them. I don't have a single girl who's like, I'm going to just spend the afternoon looking at myself.
Veer, what were you saying?
I think that there's always a level of attractiveness that outweighs everything else.
No.
I think that if there's a girl that's like, no, besides like the complete, like always cheating on you or something, besides complete outliers, I think that at some level there's a level of attractiveness that weighs out.
Look at the most beautiful women in the world right now. They're all busy launching tech companies and beauty companies. You think they're just sitting there? They're like, we are supermodels. We've been crowned most beautiful.
There are many.
We're just gonna relax.
No, there are many. There are
many.
There are many. Like, I mean, think about the football players and basketball players' wives and girlfriends. They literally, like, their entire life is being beautiful. And
I mean, billionaire hedge funds' wives and girlfriends, they've never worked a day in their lives. I mean, why are you talking like Zarna that you don't know what I'm talking about?
Why is
I
beauty?
cannot fathom that person as part of our family unit.
Hold
I
on.
cannot even fathom
Yeah,
it.
agreed.
Hold on.
We're going to take one more brief pause to tell you about our sponsor for today, Squarespace. If you've been thinking about starting a business, you've been trying to figure out how to create a website, what are the tools you will need, how will you book people, how will you get paid, how will you send an invoice, all these things are easily available on squarespace.com. It is so easy to start a business. It's so easy to visualize what you're going to do and how you're going to do it because Squarespace has every tool neatly laid out So don't delay on your dreams. You don't need anybody else. You don't need any highfalutin experts to tell you anymore. These things are easily managed on squarespace.com. Go check them out. Check out squarespace.com/Zarna for a free trial. You have nothing to lose. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code Zarna to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. That's squarespace.com/Zarna for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code Zarna to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Do not hold back on your dreams. We are no longer in a world where any of this is difficult. In fact, it's so easy that Squarespace put it all in one place. So if you just fidget with it a little bit, if you spend a few minutes playing around the website, it will all start making sense to you. And whatever your business is, whatever product or service you've been wanting to launch, you can take control of your own destiny now on squarespace.com.
I think we're making the wrong.
They would die with us.
Okay.
They would die in our ecosystem.
Totally, Mom. You're right. But I feel like it's not about beautiful women. There are people in all demographics of human being who are not interested in working.
And
right?
all of them would die in the garden.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be
But
honest.
maybe these kids will have their own ecosystem, Zarna.
No. No one is allowed to have that. No.
That is a concern for me. That is actually something I think about with dating all the time.
No.
Is my future person is going to need to be comfortable with us talking about them on the pod, with us posting videos together, with all these different things that, I mean, even the partners that decide they don't want to be a part of the limelight that much, like, I feel like even in like the Kardashian family, that brother, right? Like he still has to be public, right? Like despite how respectful his family is to his boundaries, he's still like a Kardashian, right? That carries a lot of weight. And I always think about that with dating.
So yeah, we are not the Kardashians. You're like literally comparing us to the Kardashians. Like
no, I'm not comparing us to the Kardashians. We are, in my opinion, like we are working towards being a family brand, right? Like, and I'm really proud of that. But we also have like a large internet presence. I mean, we have a podcast where we talk about all of our issues on the internet.
Dad,
I am concerned about that.
If in your 20s, say that Mom had the same like level of fame where she had a podcast and all this type of stuff, would you have been fine with her talking about you and your guys' relations?
That's a very
and stuff?
good question, Beta. I don't think I would have been fine.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Veer, great question.
But to be fair, I was at a different stage of life at the time. So I would answer it in two different ways. One, the person that I was in my 20s would not have been okay with that. But the person that I am at 50 would be okay with that if that person became 25 today. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. So yeah, that's how I would answer it.
It's a slightly unfair question because the world has evolved in the last 25
No, I know. It was just a
It's not
hypothetical.
like, I did plenty of crazy things 25 years ago. I started all kinds of crazy businesses. And as much as he says I would not be okay, he was okay with it.
No, I don't think that's what he asked though. Like he asked whether I would be okay with being part so much, publicly as I am today, right? That's what he asked.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
The businesses that you started did not require me to be on Instagram.
I know, but we were publicly talking about it. All our friends were making fun of it. Like, you never once said, I don't want to be a part of it. Don't talk about it at a corporate dinner. In fact, you always supported it. You would go to like a big blue chip corporate dinner and be like, you know what, my wife is trying?
Yeah,
like,
that part is
so
true.
it's
I never felt insecure about your mother's work. But I think that, if it required me to be so public and almost like celebrity status type person, I don't know if that I would have supported that at the time.
Wow.
But I'm very happy about it today.
Okay.
How quickly should we be introducing people to you guys?
Immediately, because the track record is pretty
No,
bad.
not no, for me, I would rather that it's after a point where you feel like this. But you introduce pretty quickly anyway, even though
I
think
do.
If it's immediately, then how are you supposed to develop your own sense for how good the person is?
You don't need to. That's why you have us.
Oh my
I think you should wait until you realize that. I think you should wait until you realize that this is somebody that you can actually take it seriously with. Like, until you realize, okay, you know what? This can work out for like an extended period of at least 1 month. Okay, maybe I should introduce them.
I would say even longer, Bridge. I mean, I think that you should introduce, for me, when you know that there is something to be introduced about, when you want an opinion.
Yeah. Okay, that's
The
fair.
thing is, there's too many dangers out there that I'm always worried about, which is why the lead time needs to be shorter.
And there's
We
too
need
much trust that I
experience.
have on our upbringing of our two kids that we should trust that they will have that judgment.
I think that
Okay.
we should move on to A
Did you
grades.
literally just say that so you can get brownie points from your kids who you already know and they know you? Like, he will do anything to be more appealing to you guys. Do you see this?
And what do I get in return against that? Like what?
I don't know. Why are you
Like
doing it? Why did you have to
I'm
say,
not
oh, I
just
trust, like as if I don't?
because you don't. You're too invasive in their lives, in my opinion. Why don't you ask them? Is your mother invasive in their lives or not?
Yeah.
What
For
are you
sure.
talking about? Did you just say yeah? So, okay, all right.
Just for
I don't think
context,
she's
we
invasive
were
at all in my life.
we were watching The Lion
Oh,
King
there
last
you go.
night,
So Bridge,
and we were watching The Lion King last night, and I said, "Mom, if you were Mufasa, what would you have done?" She said she would put a fence around the whole animal kingdom so that we could not leave if we were Simba.
No, and she said if you were Simba, I would put a fence also just around you, like around the animal kingdom, and then there would be also a little fence around Simba, so he couldn't move
Because
out.
you know that Mufasa was a guy and the dad and took the path of least resistance and told his son, you know that side that's shaded, don't go there, and then went to sleep. And of course the kid, of course the freaking kid, ask any mother would have told you that telling a kid don't go there is the number one way to get the kid there. And then Simba got in all kinds of trouble, the dad got killed. All this could have been avoided if it was handled by
but
the
as a
mother. That's
result
all
of
I
it
was trying
all,
to say.
Simba became a very astute king. Did he or did he not?
Yes.
So
Simba's dad was stampeded to death by the wildebeest.
that was his destiny, the Simba's dad's destiny. But Simba, as a result of the experiences that he got, ultimately became the king with this very supportive wife, who stayed at home and raised kids.
Okay.
I'm literally wheezing.
Okay, I mean, we're
okay.
losing. I can't even right
I
now because
can't
you're gonna
even.
do anything to be appealing to the kids and to the
How are you
audience.
appealing to the kids? I'm hardly even.
Literally, Shalab, you are manipulating our podcast audience as we speak. People who are watching and listening, if you know what I'm talking about, comment below right
Okay,
now. Because
okay.
we
Here
know-
is what, guys. Everyone who's watching this podcast, I would specifically want to be voted on this one point. Am I coming across as manipulative or am I coming across as intelligent? Can you please vote on that?
You're
As my
definitely
vote-
intelligent.
As my vote, I think it's both.
It's
Ooh.
Oh, shoot, Veer.
Veer sees through it. That's right, and that means.
but he
if you
did say
vote for
both. He did
manipulation-
not say manipulative.
No,
Veer-
but I'm saying you're not intelligent, Shalab. But the manipulation is front and center, and we all see it. Like we
Mom-
know
I think your manipulation is intelligent. Is that? Is that
Oh,
Okay, but I think mom is also very guilty of the same tactic. She's saying all this and at the same time is like, I'm gonna fence the kids in.
Yes, because I'm focused on getting the job done, on keeping my family alive and prosperous and healthy. I've
I
been
mean, what is the
obsessive
point of a
with doing
protective life if it's just say? I mean, you want them to be adventurous and
No,
date that girl
and
that has
adventurous
tattoos
this. Even
and
living in
date
the
that.
same house.
Date the girl with tattoos, really, Dad.
Yeah, if he's
I love
passionate about
that.
her, absolutely.
I'm so team Dad on
But
this.
no,
I
you're
agree.
not. You're not going to date a boy with tattoos. That's not that.
What?
That didn't last very long. Anyway, as you guys can see, this is the story of love and dating and marriage, and somehow we took a huge sidetrack into whether you should drop out into college or not. So many topics that affect all our lives. We can't wait to hear what you think. We can't wait to hear what's going on with your family. Please text, comment, DM, email us. We're listening, we're reading, we are learning about you as you're learning about us. We are so proud to be your digital family. And as we end every episode with a round of good grades with Gargs, so too we will end this episode with a round of good grades with Gargs, where each Garg gives another Garg an A grade for the winning moment, the enlightening moment, the entertaining moment of the episode. Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna give my A grade to Veer. I thought his question to mom and dad about red and green flags they wanted to identify was very strong. And I also liked your comparison about regret versus rejection?
I'm going to give my A grade to Zarna because her protective instincts, you know, as much as I voice opinions against them, has served each member of this family well, including me.
I'm gonna give my A grade to Dad because I like his honesty throughout this entire episode.
It was a tough one. Zoya?
I already
So she
did
already
mine.
did.
Oh, who's left? Weird.
I'm
You.
gonna give my A grade to Dad too. I thought his comment on I think his general distinction between guys that Didi brings home and girls that me and Baya bring home is interesting, and I thought his thing about the tattoo that just happened was really funny.
I'm gonna give this A grade to Zoya because I think she's been through the cycle of the college dropout, dating, and everything that comes from it, and she's learned. Like, she's in the hub in San Francisco, seeing how those things play out, and she's learned. She's gone through a whole evolutionary cycle of it, and her observations I thought were very valuable, and I think will help a lot of people who watch and listen to our podcast. But this has been our episode on love, dating, marriage, staying in college, dropping out of college, all things modern life that affect you, me, and all our kids, grandkids, and generations to come. We can't wait to hear what you have to say about all of this. Who do you give your A grade to? Loki, I think your dad gave me the A grade. Also, was a final act of manipulation. This episode was a final act of, like, let me twist in the
Let's
knife.
see what our audience says. We are
Yeah,
going to
if
take a
you
vote on
feel
this.
he's being manipulative, feel free. Please write that in comments so I'm not the only one who's observing these tactics. And until we meet again, we want to say for the first time goodbye from your digital family. Can everybody say it together?
Wait. Can you please tell people to subscribe and stuff?
Oh, yeah, please. If you enjoy our episodes, if you like our episodes, if you resonate with any one of us or all of us, like, share, subscribe, help us grow this podcast because we're trying to bring in more people into this universe. We're trying to bring in more people with love, more perspectives. You agree, you disagree, you have a child who dropped out or a child who's staying in because you asked them to, somebody is dating somebody you hate, whatever your story is, please bring them all into the fold. We want to learn, we want to grow together with you guys. And now, can we do what I'm dying to do?
Yes.
We today, for the first time, sign off as your digital family.
Yes.
All right.
Yes? So, everybody, goodbye from
Your
Your
digital
digital
family.
Family.
See you next time.
See you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.